A Grand Old Tree by Mary Newell de Palma. Once there was a grand old tree. Her roots sank deep into the earth. Do you remember what roots do? They go down into the earth and they suck up all the water for the tree. They suck it up like a straw. Her arms reached high into the sky. What's another name for her arms? What are all these things on the tree? They're branches. Her arms are branches and they reach way up high. She was home to many creatures. Birds nested among her branches. Squirrels scurried through her leaves. Caterpillars and ladybugs crawled about. Wonder what other kind of animals might live in a tree. Any ideas? The grand old tree flowered. Look at all those beautiful flowers the tree grew. What color are those? This tree has white flowers. It bore fruit. What does that mean if it bore fruit? Was it bored of the fruit? It didn't like it anymore. It was bored, boring. Not quite. It means that it grew fruit. And it sowed seeds. She had many children. So the tree, it grew seeds, it sowed seeds, and they fell down to the earth and ended up in the ground to grow more trees. They changed the landscape for miles around, perhaps even farther than the old tree knew. How could they go even farther? Look at the picture and see what's happening. You see this bird and what he has in his mouth? He has one of the seeds. So the seeds are traveling even further, not just directly under the tree. The birds and animals help to take them away so that they can grow trees anywhere. The grand old tree lived a long, long time. She basked in the sun, bathed in the rain, swayed in the breeze, and danced in the wind. She grew and shed many millions of leaves. At last, the grand old tree was very, very old. Her branches no longer swayed and danced, but cracked and snapped in the wind. Finally, she fell and snow gently covered her. The old tree died. She no longer flowered, bore fruit, or sowed seeds. How does that make you feel that the tree died? Makes me feel a little sad. But let's find out what happens next. But still, even though she died, she was still home to many creatures. So now the tree is laying on its side, and there's animals that live inside of her. Raccoons nested in her trunk, centipedes crawled along her branches, and lichen grew on her bark. So this tree still has purpose. The grand old tree slowly crumbled. She became part of the earth. Today, the roots of her grandchildren sink deep into this earth. So the trees that were growing from the seeds from the grand old tree, now their roots are in the ground that the grand old tree became part of. Their arms reach high into the sky, just like the grand old tree. The end. So to recap our story real quick, a grand old tree. There once was a tree who lived a very happy life. She bore fruit, she sowed seeds, she had many creatures that lived with her, and she lived many, many, many years. Every year she'd grow her leaves and then they'd fall off. And then one day the tree died. She got very, very old and she died. And we felt a little sad. But then we found out that she still was a home to all kinds of creatures. She went into the earth and helped the other trees grow. Now I'm curious, how does that make you feel? That even though she died, she still got to help the other trees and the animals. I look forward to hearing your responses. Thank you for listening, friends. Bye.